I am going to be sharing a chapter from my new book, Your Soul Had a Dream, Your Life Is It. This book is actually really difficult to package up into a neat little bow. It is a beautiful book, but it's not perfect and pretty. The writing process was deep, just like the period of my life that I was journeying through as I wrote it. It was a really initiatory time, and we are living in initiatory times. And so I reached out and asked you guys which chapter you would like me to read, and this was the most popular one. So here we go. How is life trying to initiate you? It's the extremes of life that initiate us the most, and these are extreme times. Life is always trying to initiate us into becoming even more of who we truly are as individuals, as humans, as a planet. Right now, how is life trying to initiate you? In times of solitude, we're called to go inward. In times of upheaval, we're called to loosen our grip on that which is no longer aligned. In times of heartbreak, we're called to find a way to let it crack us open. In all times, we're called to connect with our true inner nature and the interconnected true nature of all of life. It's in extreme times like these that the things which aren't sustainable become clear. Where if we go in, we're able to see our lives in a different light, to see all that doesn't matter, to see all we've taken for granted, to see that being alive on this planet is a great privilege. Life is always trying to initiate us, and deep inside we know that the only way to surrender to the initiation is to surrender to the innate power and great mystery within. This power is internal, but it's also connected with the intelligence that exists within all life. It's the same energy that tells flowers when to bloom, and it was present when you grew in the womb. Trust in that. It will carry you through. Embrace the certain death of the past. Surrender to what's been wanting to be born through you. Life is always trying to initiate us into becoming even more of who we truly are. You can resist it or you can embrace it. But life will continue to do what life knows how to do. So many of us fear change, yet change is the most certain thing in the world. To be initiated means to cross a threshold, to go from one state of being to another. Often it requires a period of uncertainty. We cannot go back to the way things were, but it's not yet clear how things will be. And so our only choice is to walk through the fire of the unknown. We head into the abyss in order to journey back into the world changed. As we cross the threshold, it's clear that things will never be the same. We're asked to walk blindly into a whole new world and a whole new way of being, forever changed. Life is always trying to initiate us, but few people accept the invitation for the initiation. There comes a time when the flower knows that it can no longer remain in the protective constraints of the bud. Somehow, it needs to trust in the birthing energy which is encoded within life and surrender to the unknown of the future bloom. The same birthing energy exists within all of nature and in birth, both literal and metaphorical. There are rolling contractions as the souls prepare to make their entrance into this world. As we transition from one thing to another, we're called to burst through the constraints of the seed and then the certainty of the bud so that something new can bloom. And once the bloom is here, We'll be called to face another initiation as our petals give way to the fruit that will follow, if we allow it. Soul inquiry. Right now, how is life trying to initiate you? So I want you to contemplate that. Right now, how is life trying to initiate you? If life is always inviting us to step into our becoming, it's always trying to initiate us into even more of who we truly are. And the thing is that change is the one constant. And, I've just been through a epic period of my life from 36 to 43. I just had my 43rd birthday, and it's a 7-year period. And my goodness, I have changed astronomically in that time. And I think we all do. But this particular period has been so deep, so potent, so transformative. But it's been transformative right down to the cells at a cellular level. And during that period, I became a mother, and I was writing this book over that whole period, really, that 7-year period, in little bits that would just come. And it was almost like this book, what was the changes that were happening within me were what was initiating me, and I was writing notes along the way. It's as if like the soul has come more fully into the cells, more fully into the ancestry, more fully into the earth. And I wrote it also at a time when literally soul was being woven into matter, as I grew my children within me, and changed so much in that time as well. It's such a transformative time for anyone. But it was like I was being taught and shown the codes of life through that as my body was knitting soul into form. And so this chapter, how is life trying to initiate you, I guess is one of the key themes of the book. And if we are to look at our lives as an initiation for the soul, an invitation for the soul to continually to come more fully in, for us to explore who we're becoming. I think in this world of social media and all of that visibility and constant content, constant bombardment, very like uber focused on the visual and aesthetics and all of that, it is really difficult to embrace who we're becoming, rather than trying to cling into who we are and who we're projecting, that concept that we're projecting out into the world. And then, of course, because everyone has so much more access to us, they're projecting back who they think we are, which is based on who we thought we were, that we were projecting to them. And so, of course, that is not going to be an accurate representation of who we are. And so this is why really it is so crucial for us at these times to develop a deep and potent relationship with the self, the soul, the inner guidance system, the temple within, to go in as your number one news feed, rather than looking out and kind of reading the temperature based on what's happening in the world. Because so much is changing right now. We really are living in initiatory times. And so if you're able to go in and ask yourself, particularly when things feel a little unsteady or they feel like they're falling apart, how is life trying to initiate you? How is life trying to initiate you right now? To be initiated means to cross a threshold, to go from one place to another, one state of being to another. How is life trying to initiate you right now? If you've enjoyed this episode, then you will love my new book, Your Soul Had a Dream, Your Life Is It. how to be held by life when it feels like everything is falling apart. It's a book about rebirth and transformation at its deepest, most potent level. You can pre-order it wherever you order books, and you can also, if you pre-order it before October 30, you will receive a free ticket to my incredible event happening on October 31st. So head to RebeccaCampbell.me/Your Soul Had a Dream.